All right, so the only thing that I cared about when it came to the new iPhone 15 Pro is the video. I mean, when they had the keynote on the computer, me and a friend of mine was sitting there watching it, and when they announced ProRes HQ 4K 60 frames a second, I was so excited I couldn't stand it. Now, in this video, I'm just gonna walk you through, because I haven't seen any other YouTuber walk you guys through or walk me through. I mean, obviously it's pretty easy, but if you're looking to buy this phone, you wanna know how it works, because they did say you had to plug in an external hard drive, SSD, which you do, and it's very easy and self-explanatory, but I ain't seen no videos showing how it works, showing how easy it is, showing any of that. So this video is gonna be real simple. All I'm gonna do is show you how this works on the iPhone 15 Pro to get that 4K 60 ProRes HQ. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna go over a little bit of the settings. There's some new settings in here I wanna go over, so let's get into that. Okay, so when you go to your settings here on your phone, you hit record video. I leave mine at 4K 60, so whenever I pop in a video, it's already ready. It's not ProRes 4K 60, it's normal 4K 60, which is fine. Whenever I plug this in, it goes ProRes. We're gonna get to that. Obviously the slow-mo 1080 slow-mo is not that great unless it's in 60. That slow-mo is pretty good. Record cinematic, I keep it 4K 30. Formats are something to go over. I keep mine at high efficiency, even though I have the 6 terabyte cloud storage now. I keep it there because whenever I'm shooting ProRes, that's when I actually care about the video. All right, so if you go all the way down to Apple ProRes, I have mine set. You can click on Apple ProRes video capture, slide that on, and then at the bottom of that, it has ProRes encoding, HDR, SDR, and log. I do have something I dislike about the log, unless I just haven't figured it out yet, but I think they just don't have it. I keep mine in log because I have a LUT. It's actually the Sony LUT that I use that makes this thing look so amazing. So you can do standard dynamic range, which is, Rec 709. You can go HDR if you're shooting HDR, or you can go to log, which I prefer the log for what I'm gonna be using for. I can match it up with the C70, the R8 very nicely. Okay, so all the other settings we're really not gonna get into. We're gonna get into showing you how to plug an SSD into the phone and showing you how it reacts and where the footage goes and all that good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is plug in the SSD. The one that I use is SanDisk. It's pretty awesome, 500 gigabyte. I will have this link down in the description. If you're interested, it works perfect with the iPhone. So okay, so when you get into the camera app, automatically I have mine set to where it goes to video. As you see, it's 4K 60. On the top left, there's ProRes log, because that's what I have it set to. And as you see, there's no LUT conversion, which I wish there was a LUT conversion so you could see what you're shooting without being in log. Luckily, exposure is pretty good on the phone as long as you adjust it accordingly, like I said. But having this in log, in my opinion, gives you a little more dynamic range and it gives you a little more colors. It honestly just looks amazing to me. And as you see, once I put it in the computer, fantastic. So okay, so now that we got that out the way, I'm gonna go ahead and hit record and show you how that looks. And as you see at the right of the phone, it says USB-C. So it's letting you know that the footage is going straight to USB-C, whatever you have plugged in, which is an SSD. So that's awesome. In 4K 60, I think it's 10 seconds of footage. Okay, so right now, I've shot 20 seconds of footage. Let's go see how many gigs that is. Let's go to Files, just to give you an idea of why they're doing the external. Let's go to 500 terabyte, or gigabyte, I keep saying terabyte. Go to Apple, here we go. And as you see, that's how it looks out. 20 seconds is almost 2 gigabytes, to give you an idea of how big these files are, but it gives you a lot of information. Let's go ahead and get into the computer and show you. I mean, honestly, once you're done with it, you just can unplug it. There's no way to eject it or anything. You go in here to your computer, plug it in, and it's never on your phone, which is really nice. Like, that footage that you shot never ends up on your phone, so it don't take up space, which is very convenient in my opinion. Because I have a shoot coming up next week, and I'm not gonna lie, if I have B-roll that I wanna shoot, I could shoot it with this phone in ProRes 4K 60. Okay, so once it's plugged in, as you see here, Extreme 500 DCIM, you go to the Apple, just like an SD card. I'm gonna go ahead and click this clip, drag it in. I'm doing it twice because I already did it, I wasn't screen recording. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust that. This is a 1080p timeline. Go ahead and put Lumetri color on there. Like I said, the LUT that I use is a Sony LUT, and it's a good starting point. So it starts out there, and then you have to make your adjustments accordingly. Obviously that's way too much. Make your adjustments. Contrast has to go pretty high with this LUT. Honestly, I wish Apple came out with a LUT to help you convert this over, but for now, I haven't found one. Maybe there's one out there. If there is, leave it in the comments. Let me know where it's at. But for now, this is what I found, and the footage, in my opinion, looks really good once I get done color grading it and getting it looking better. And from what I've noticed, to get the sharpness back, which I know iPhone's known to be pretty dang sharp, you gotta boost the sharpness up a little bit. I think the log kind of softens it up a little bit, which is, in my opinion, fine. Okay, and here's the footage. As you see, in my opinion, it looks amazing. I'm pointing up here because there's a TV. It looks good. Look at the dog. Crispy footage. Let me turn it down so y'all can hear me. I mean, maybe if it looks bad, let me know in the comments. But obviously I could sit here and I did this color grade in, I would say, in like a minute. So I could spend more time and get it looking, you know, actually really good. But look at that shot of my dog. It looks really good. Okay, so that is how you use Apple ProRes HQ 4K 60 frames a second. I think this is a banger feature. Before we close out the video, I'm gonna go through one more clip and show you how it looks with one more clip. Copy this, grade on, and let's hit play and show you how it looks. So as you see, the iPhone put the exposure up closer I got to her face, which kind of honestly made it a little too bright, but you could always bring it back. Look at that footage. It's really good. I mean, it looks really, really good. One thing that I've noticed with the HDR footage, if you go with HDR and you try to convert it to 709, it don't never look the way you want it to. You can get it to look okay, but in my opinion, not this good. This is crispy footage. Okay, obviously I'm not comparing it to the C70 or R8. Those look way better. Bigger sensors, all the benefits of that. But this looks way better than a GoPro, has way more information than a GoPro, even the GoPro Hero 11, which I have. This looks way better than that, which some people use GoPros for B-roll. This is way better than using a GoPro. I mean, it's way convenient because you can just plug in an SSD and all your storage is there. Then you will dump it off to your flash drive before you start editing. It's really convenient how they set this up. If you just want to use this for everything, you could use it for ProRes 30 frames a second as well if you don't feel like shooting 60, which is really nice because 4K 60 is a lot of information. You fill this 500 gigabyte up pretty dang fast, faster than you think. So there is that to think about too. In my opinion, what I would be using this for is little B-roll shots that I want to shoot something. I think it looks awesome. I need that shot, but my camera happens to be somewhere else. Or somebody, and I have my phone with me, and for here on out, when I'm on a production, I'm gonna have one of these in my pocket all the time, and obviously I have my phone with me. I think it's great for little B-roll shots you may need and you don't have your camera, or you only have one camera and you have somebody else that can go get B-roll as well. You can do that with this phone. Obviously, as you've seen, they're gonna have to make sure their exposure is a little lower so you can bring it up later. It's not too hot. But if you do that, this footage looks good enough to use for anything. As long as you're not using it for like a talking head like this, I think it works for a lot of stuff. So with that, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, and I'll see you in the next video.